Yeah, the mindset right now is win. I mean, we're at the end of the season. We need basically 3 wins out of the last 3 games. So we had a disappointing result at the weekend, but no time to dwell on it. The good thing about having a congested season is you can change your mind real quick and turn it around and focus on something else. So we have a difficult opponent on Wednesday in DC United, a team that's battling for exactly what we're battling for. I think they probably need a win, just as much as we do. So you're going to see 2 teams who are really going for 3 points.
Thanks, Joe. We'll start in the room. A reminder on Zoom, if you have a question, to use the hand raise function. Claudio?
Joe, it seems like the last game was one of those games where you could pretty much walk away with the victory as well. And that it didn't happen for the reasons that we talked about it already. But what would the team need to do to prevent something like that happening, well, like you said, in the next 3 games?
Yeah, I think we just need to stay focused for 90 minutes and stick to the game plan for 90 minutes. We kind of talked about it yesterday a little bit, and the New England game is one of those where if it happens at the beginning of the season, you say, okay, it's disappointing, but there are a lot of positives we can take away from it. But right now, it doesn't really matter how well we play, we just need to get results. So I think at the end of the day, we need to find something within ourselves, whether we're playing well or not playing well, to just use willpower to get results and to get wins out of these last 3 games.
Now, there's a lot of reasons why a team that loses or ties or wins a game in the MLS. But when you look at the table, even though there's some huge difference perhaps in terms of points and maybe goals scored, goals against, all that, you could probably say, well, there's a big difference between you guys and perhaps the first 5 teams. But when you look at the games, actually, that's not the case. Is that how you see you as an MLS player or fan?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you've watched most of our games this season, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 games, they've all been pretty close games. And scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in sports. Everyone wants to, in soccer at least, everyone wants to do it. That's why goal scorers get paid the big bucks when they can do it. So we've, as a team, we've been having a little bit of a difficult time finding the back of the net this season, but I think we have a lot of good pieces, and we have a lot of good ideas going forward on how we can score more goals. And now it's just about keeping it tight at the back end and executing in front of goal.
We'll go to Ben Wright on Zoom. I think you're muted.
Want to win every game, and probably need to win every game. Do you feel like 9 points from these next 3 games is going to be enough to squeeze into the playoffs, or are you kind of just thinking we can control what we can control and not worry about the rest?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can only control what we can control. Like you said, we can get 9 points out of the next 3 games and still not make the playoffs. So there's, I haven't really looked at all the other schedules and who plays who, and there's probably 10,000 different scenarios that can play out. So we're just focused on what we can control, and that's trying to get 3 points out of Wednesday. And if we do that, then looking forward to Sunday to try to get 3 more.
Go ahead, Ben, if you have a second.
Yeah, and then after just a loss on Saturday, how do you feel like it's any kind of advantage to you guys to just be able to immediately flip the switch and not have a ton of time to kind of dwell on that, but be like, hey, we have a game in 3 to 4 days, and you have to immediately start focusing on that?
I would say maybe from a mental standpoint, it's a bit of an advantage. I think in a game like that, there are certain positives that you can pull, and if you have more time in the week, then you can look at more video and focus on what we did well in that game. But I think from a mental standpoint, at this point of the season, when you need wins and you need results, it does benefit to have another game so soon, knowing that we can focus on this and we have more opportunities ahead.
We'll go to Valer on Zoom.
Hey, Joe. You've been with the team since 2020, obviously, when MLS started for Nashville SC, and the team has been known to be this defensive juggernaut, really. This season, things aren't going as well. How hard is it being in goal with maybe conceding more goals than usual this season, and how everything played out so far?
Yeah, I mean, to put it bluntly, it sucks. As a goalkeeper, whether it's in training, games, whether it's 1 goal or 10 goals, you hate giving up goals. So this season, it's obviously been happening more than in the past. So, I think we got a little, we've been fortunate in the past that we've, kept so many clean sheets, given up so few goals that kind of became the norm. So this year when we're giving up more goals, it feels a little odd and it hurts more because we know that we're capable of being better. That said, I think this year has been a strange year for us. I think over the last, our first 4 years at least, consistency has been something that we've relied on. Not just on the field, but off the field. And this year we've obviously had some changes and this, that, and the other thing. So it's been a weird year in that viewpoint. But getting back to what we do best, which is keeping clean sheets and being difficult to break down, is something that we are working very hard towards.
And go ahead, Valeria, if you have another.
Yeah, the big talking point for goalkeepers lately has been playing with their feet and being able to kind of pass the ball or have the right distribution. Have you had to do more playing on your feet with BJ Callahan since he came on, or has it been the same for you?
I would say it's probably been the same, maybe even less. I think if you've watched our games recently, most of my goal kicks have been going long, and we've had some success at that. Yeah, to your point, playing out of the back with goalkeepers has been kind of a trend in world football recently, and I think back to when I started in the league. I mean, if I got a pass back, it was a one-time boot down the field, and that was the end of it. So it's throughout my career I've had to evolve in that aspect. But I think it can benefit a team to have a goalkeeper with solid feet and to be able to keep possession and get out of situations in that way. But also, I feel as a goalkeeper, my number one job is to keep the ball out of the back of the net, and the whole playing out of the back is kind of secondary to that.
Great, thanks so much, Joe. Thanks, guys. We'll be back shortly with Coach Callahan.
Thanks, guys.